Entering the wormhole in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a nice trip.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Andy Savage back with another episode of the Wormhole Podcast. I'm here today with the co-host, esteemed life mate, cousin, friend, Hanky. What the fuck is up, homie?
What up, y'all? Good to be here again on a follow-up episode from our last one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
we got some new subjects to talk about from what I hear.
Yeah. Touching back on a little bit of what we were talking about. It did sound like we were setting ourselves up for a part 2, but this is gonna be a part 1,000,000. Who the fuck knows? We got a few things to talk about today. First thing I really wanted to get into was the 3-eye Atlas. That's actually a pretty cool and interesting thing. If anybody's been following it, 3-eye Atlas is a comet that is the third interstellar object that we've been observing. Interstellar meaning that it's from outside of our solar system coming in. The interesting thing about the 3-eye Atlas comet is that, number one, its size. This is a comet the size of Manhattan, um, which could potentially, if it were to hit Earth, be complete catastrophe. Could be an extinction moment. We're good on that. It's supposed to be about 170 million miles away from US from the Earth, its trajectory.
And
Currently, yeah, and the US.
most
um,
importantly.
yeah, really, most importantly. Who cares if it wipes out something else? Hit China.
Just the other half of the planet, as long as we're still turning.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, right, dude.
I mean, yeah, who's he gonna tear off next? But cool thing about 3-eye Atlas is that number one, like I said, its size. It's the size of Manhattan. So any interstellar object that big is obviously cool. A difficult thing about it right now is that it's behind the glare of the sun, but it's supposed to be coming back out sometime in December, and then we'll be able to keep observing it further. But the coolest thing about 3-eye Atlas is the anomalies. So the first anomaly would be that they said that the comet's tail was actually starting to point towards our sun, which is completely crazy because that's essentially showing a comet and a tail that use as it's coming this way, its tail is also pointing that way, which has never been heard of in any comets that we've ever seen. They were talking about was the actual composition of the comet itself, being that it is almost primarily made out of nickel, which at first led scientists to believe that it might be extraterrestrial. However, as they're coming to find out, a majority, if not all, of the mineral deposits of nickel here on Earth are actually from previous comet impacts. So every piece of nickel that we mine on Earth is actually
not from this planet. Yeah,
it's not from this planet. So that makes nickel a pretty fucking cool mineral. So next time you have the opportunity to pick up some nickel, just know you're picking up something from space.
Yeah. Well, it didn't originate here. Yeah.
It didn't originate here.
Introduced to our planet from outside.
Yep. That's very cool in my opinion. But nickel is also very, very heavy. So they're saying now they're speculating. Everything's a fucking speculation. But they're speculating that it isn't a spaceship just be considering the fact that it is made of nickel, because a ship size of the Manhattan that's made out of nickel would be pretty fucking heavy.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just counterintuitive if you really think about um all of the supposed alien tech that we've quote unquote seen via, uh, um, civilians, or I mean, obviously the military doesn't talk about what they got, but
Oh
we've
yeah, they do.
I think it's a little bit more than speculation. Well, they do, but not publicly. They don't tell us that, they found crafts that were made out of this lightweight, strange alloy that's from a different planet. Like, they don't tell us about that kind of stuff, but I
Yeah.
guarantee they got it. I mean, Area 51, that this
So
wasn't a rumor, you know? Like
Area
Roswell.
51. Yeah.
Roswell
Yeah.
wasn't a rumor. These things were real. They
Mhm.
happened. There was government cover-ups behind them, and shitty government cover-ups because they were done in the '60s. So, when they think that they were being clever, now they got fucking people in the mid-2000s that are, uncovering all of these previously done hoaxes, I would say, just like the moon landing. The more and more that people nowadays investigate it, the more and more it looks like it was fucking fake, and it was. You can tell it's fake. There's no wind on the moon, so how is the flag blowing? They didn't bring a fan up there with them. Like
Mhm.
all of there's so many little things that,
There's
like.
a lot of little
And then,
things.
let's say if we were at the moon, I don't wanna get off topic too much, but just bring it in. If we were at the moon in the '60s or '70s, I don't remember when the moon landing was. I think it was the '70s. It was before I was born, which is
Yeah,
crazy as
you
fuck.
would think with all the technological advances we've had since then that we'd be able to do some pretty serious uh, intergalactic travel and shit like that, but
Sure.
we're not
And
anywhere near that. To have
and
that type, to have the ability to do that, given our past state of technology that we had available and stuff, and our understanding of it all, to not have it evolve over all this time, along with our technology and everything, it's questionable. It really makes you think, like, yeah, maybe we didn't have the ability back then. And it's definitely one of those things that you want to believe that we landed on the moon and stuff like that. They put it in history books, as part of our childhood. It made us, wow, I want to be an astronaut. That's crazy. It's such a cool thing that happened in history, of human history. But yeah, the more you look into it, the more obvious it becomes that it was just didn't actually happen.
sure, and I mean, the advancements in spacecrafts in general, we got way better rockets than we did back then. We have way better space shuttles than we did back then. Um, we have way better space suits, way better thermal linings, everything, every facet of space travel has been improved astronomically since then. But yet we've never been back to the moon.
Yeah, right.
That just I mean, that should be number 1 right there. And you're not gonna go there and be like, "Oh, hell yeah, we made it somewhere that wasn't Earth," and then never go back.
It
Like,
might be, what though? It might be one of those things, you've done it once, you've done it a million times. Like, there's, okay, there ain't nothing to see here, no
there's too
civilization. It's all just
there
fucking ash.
there's too many greedy millionaires and billionaires to say that
Right.
we'll
That would
never
be
been
like,
there.
oh, I'm gonna do it for myself for a little
If we could
vacation.
go to the moon, you don't believe that Jeff Bezos would already have some fucking moon castle built, and he just lives on the fucking moon in some fucking Amazon space center where they'll
Mhm.
ship your packages via fucking satellite. You'll get your fucking dildo transmitted straight to your fucking house from the moon.
Dildo drop coming in.
Little space shuttle.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's just no way. There's no way. Considering what, like, I mean, we're so used to seeing what we have here in the US. Like, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to just even, like, Dubai. Like, look at fucking Saudi Arabia, look at Dubai, and look how technologically advanced that city is. And, you know, that's still kind of old. Like some of that stuff is new, but, like, some of Dubai has been being developed for the last 20 years also. And and with that in mind, if they got all of that there, I guarantee motherfuckers would have been trying to build on the moon because there's nobody that says you can't. There's
Yeah,
no
well, no, there's no government that rules over the moon or anything. I do believe that it would, if one country did make it to the moon, it would very quickly become a huge national problem. Like they'd start to talk about who's got the rights over it and all that stuff.
Did
There'd
you
be some
see
battle over that territory for sure. And I've always heard a theory that Elon Musk's big picture dream and stuff like that is to be able to go on the moon and build facilities to mine there because there's very precious materials on the moon that we don't have here that would be of use to us. So I don't know how much truth there is to that, but I remember hearing that and liking that theory. So
Yeah, I don't know. It also seemed like for a while he was really, really focused on going to Mars also.
mm,
And my wife was just telling me about there's this one young girl, I think she's like 17 now, but since like age 10, she's been training with NASA to be one of the first people on Mars, and she's gonna be heading out and doing like I want to say it's like a year or 2 year trip to Mars, and she'll be on that first shuttle out there. I think that's pretty cool. Um,
they're gonna be better about faking it this time. That's all that's gonna be.
right.
They've already fucking done it once. Why not actually go to the moon? So much easier than fucking Mars, man. Not go to the moon in our current time. Do it now. Just be like, hey, if you didn't believe us the first time, here we are a second time. At least. What the fuck is that? They're going to
Yeah,
Mars. They're going to
I'm
the
not
moon.
sure. I think that it has something to do with atmospheres, and the fact is, like, if you go to the moon, there is absolutely no atmosphere, and I think that is what makes it difficult to build with because I don't think that well, I don't know. I'm not a physicist, so I don't know, like, how it actually works with gravity and atmospheres and all that stuff with building, but I always thought if there was no gravity and there was no atmosphere, like, if you were on the moon and you just jumped up, would eventually you just float off the planet, or would you
Float off. Yeah, you would keep your momentum. If there's no atmosphere, no air or anything like that, you would just whatever momentum you jumped off of the moon, you would just carry that very same momentum into the abyss. You would
so
think, if there's
yeah. Yeah, so that's
nothing pulling you.
and there has to be some sort of gravity because it's the Earth's gravity that has the moon in our orbit, and that's
Hmm.
why the moon can't travel outside, I don't wanna get too ahead, well, like I said, we're shitheads, we are not scientists, don't get, turned off by the fact that we're talking about shit we don't know about.
Yeah, no. I watch a lot of videos. I got a lot of conspiracy theories and all that stuff. But yeah, like I don't have any kind of credentials. And definitely haven't went to school that I wouldn't even consider being an expert on anything really.
Sure. So, I mean, I guess if all those factors of atmosphere and gravity are taken into consideration towards, like, if you were gonna try to build or do anything like that, um would you wanna waste the resources potentially on trying to build on the moon when you know it's not gonna work, or would you then try for Mars because Mars is the next closest planet with, an atmosphere and gravity, and, obviously, there's no we were always taught that trees are what makes oxygen and all that stuff, and we need oxygen to breathe, so I know Mars is not breathable air.
Hmm.
You're still gonna be in a
No
spacesuit or a
oxygen.
dome or something like that. So, I mean, assuming then that's the limitation. Because Mars has gravity, you can build a dome on it or something like that, and if the moon didn't have gravity, it would be kinda difficult to anchor that kind of thing onto the surface of the moon and keep it
Mhm.
there without it floating off or some shit. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. But I did see, funny as fuck, I don't know if you've seen the video, but, I wanna say it was, like, last year where they were talking about India made it to the moon, and they
Mm.
showed you the shittiest fucking film quality. It looked like some shit off Aqua Team Hunger Force. Like, it didn't look real at all. Like, it didn't look, AI shit now, like, with that
Cardboard props and shit.
oh, yeah, it was bad looking. It was bad. It was like they flew a toy spaceship onto a fucking block of cheese. That shit was awful, bro.
So was it India, or was it just a joke? Or was it
No,
really
this
trying?
was a legit post from India's, I don't know their equivalent of NASA. I don't know it. It's been a while
Hmm.
since I seen the video, but yeah, look it up. Everybody, look it up. Look up the I don't want to say look up Air India's moon landing, and you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
laugh.
look that up. I'm sure that's great.
You're gonna laugh. It is pretty great. And the fact that they were the ones that posted it, like, it's like, are they fucking trying to troll us?
Yeah, because
Or
we did the very same fucking thing.
yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. I hope they find tons of Bobs and Vagine on the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, Frankie gone.
Really? You don't hear me?
Oh, you're back. There he is.
No shit.
I put you
Nothing
back in
happened on my
I was
screen.
about to put you back in the fucking wall. Oh, yeah, he's out of the fucking wall. Look, he's transported.
Yeah, I made it.
We got him out.
Yeah, so what I was saying is like I've heard of that three-eye atlas. I haven't looked into it recently. I don't know any of the most recent changes with that. But I remember I think the video that I watched on it was more from the conspiracy side of it. People, wanting to portray it more as like the alien spaceship coming our
Sure.
way. And if I remember correctly, they were saying that the most interesting thing about it and that brought people to that idea was that it would we would track it and it would change trajectory. It would
Yeah.
be going in one direction, and then all of a sudden, I can't remember if it was like a dramatic change of direction or if it was just slight or something like that, but it wasn't following the predicted path that we had for it. And yeah, if that still holds, to me, I'm thinking that could be a giant ass freaking mothership or something coming
Yep.
this way. That'd be honestly, if I could, have it turn out the way that I want it. I want that to happen. That'd be freaking cool.
Well, I
The
mean,
sky would just fill up with a giant dark freaking object in the sky and shit.
fucking Independence Day style.
Yeah, 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 just like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. Uh, like, I think I was, big on the speculation at first. I still am. I'm still keeping hope alive. Obviously, scientists every astrophysicist wants to believe that there's life on other planets. There's not a single astronomer that's, like, hoping that it's empty out there. What is the point then? Why give a fuck? Why look? Why even bother looking if we feel like there's nothing out there anyway? Like, I just feel like that's dumb. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah, yeah.
that's
Anybody who studies the sky, I'm sure, believes in something a lot more interesting beyond it. To dedicate your life to it and stuff like that, it's. I would think all people who study the stars and shit believe that there's something beyond that. Because
I do.
like to me, the only thing that's the difference between people who don't believe in aliens and people who do believe in aliens are people who are unaware, who really don't know, like even like to our scientific standing with all of it, and our where we are as far as that, you know, like they ignore it. You know, they're aliens. Pfft, they don't care about the stars or anything like that. I feel like all it takes is just look up and observe, dive into the science a little bit, and you feel like, oh yeah, of course there's life beyond, you know, this planet,
Sure.
beyond this galaxy, if past as far as our eyes can see currently.
Yeah, totally. Like, I mean, I've been fascinated in it since um I've had 3 major I don't let's just say they were I I I wanna say that they're encounters of the 3rd kind, right?
Oh
But
shit.
let's just say that they were at least something that sparked my curiosity. The very first one was I was about, like, 8 or 9 years old, and, I was coming out of my dad's house, with my stepmom, and this is what really got me because my stepmom is very no nonsense. From she came around and like when I was 7 years old and off jump, you know, she never faked the funk. She don't believe in God. This was, you know, her beliefs, whatever, whatever. She didn't believe in shit. She didn't believe in ghosts, none of that stuff, right? And so yeah, she was just very no nonsense about that. Um and she was just an absolute bitch. But uh that's besides the point, but also relating to her character. So when we were coming outside of the house, this was nighttime, all right? And, I look up in the sky, and you ever see, like, spotlights, like from a movie theater or something, and they kinda move
The
around in the
hospital.
sky, and you'll
Yeah.
see them like, just kinda, like, going in the sky? I seen
Hmm.
something like that, but you could clearly tell that they weren't spotlights, and that they were actually 3 crafts just zipping, like, all over the fucking sky like that.
Hmm.
And, you know, as a kid, you're fascinated with aliens and UFOs and stuff. Every time you look and seen the lights from a plane, you're like, "Oh, is that a UFO or is that a plane? I think that one's a UFO," you know? Like
Yeah.
like, for sure, you were always talking like that. You a star that moved, you're like, "Oh," you know, maybe? And, no, when I seen those 3 zipping around, I literally told my stepmom, I was like, "Hey, what is that?" And she looked up and she's like, "I don't know." And then I seen, like, she, like, turned white and, like, her expression drops
Hmm.
because, like, now it's not just a kid's curiosity, now it's like, "Oh, what the fuck is that?" You know? And, that was one indicator, you know? So that was a spark of interest, so that for sure, I can't be like, "Oh, I don't believe in aliens." Like, that didn't seem natural. Um And then, another thing I found was I did have reoccurring alien contact dreams, uh, for about, like, mm, I don't wanna say a whole year, it's hard to remember that far back how many times it happened, but I guarantee it was reoccurring because it happened many, many, many times. And, I didn't have dreams about being in the craft or seeing aliens, but I did have dreams about I'd be in my room, and then my window would just start glowing, and then the entire room would just be bathed in light, and that I couldn't see anything besides just this light, and, then I'd wake up. I knew it was aliens. I never felt like I was getting, like, sucked out of my bed, but I felt like they were instead sucking into where I was, rather than sucking me out of where I was. I felt like everything was getting pulled into me. And, just as I get older and read more into, like, reoccurring dreams and stuff, I feel like that might have been something. And then the 3rd instance, um, was actually when we were at Indiana Beach, with my other cousin, Tony, your brother,
Hmm.
and, his buddy. And, you know, I did ingest some fungus, so, you know, I was a little off my square, but anybody that's ever, indulged can tell you that you still recognize what was reality and what was part of your trip. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what you manifested in your mind and what you didn't. And he taught his Tony's buddy was teaching me about this sort of meditation. It's called CE5, right? And that's Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. And this CE5 meditation was developed by Dr. Stephen Greer, and it's a way to communicate with extraterrestrials, essentially. I just totally recommend everybody to look up CE5. There's tons of people that are into it. There's celebrities that are into it. And the reason why it feels like something is, for me at least, is solidified by the story I'm gonna tell you guys. So the CE5 meditation, it's not like a meditation that you would think as far as like a Buddhist meditation or a Kabbalah meditation or anything where you're like nothing Om related, nothing about like focusing internally. What it is it's about putting your energy out. So when you're looking into the skies at night, you're putting your energy out there. You're saying like, I want to see something. I want to communicate with you. That is the energy you're putting out. What they claim is that the aliens have um, energy sensors pretty much inside of their crafts. And when that kind of energy is getting put out, that wavelength is actually getting picked up by the crafts that are local. And you might be able to get something local to come in and they call it shining you. And so, uh, long story short, essentially, we looked up into the sky. Um, there are on the CE5 does have an app, and that shows not like a radar of what's actually outside of our planet, but it shows you like hot spot areas where they feel like you may be able to make more contact, right?
Mhm.
And inside it would also show you where like satellites are and all that. So you know what's a satellite, what's not, what's a star, what's not. And one of the it looked like a star to me at first that he was showing me. When we looked up at it, uh, I was like, okay. And then it got a little bit brighter. And so he started taking the long range laser pointer and like just playing with it and going around it. And it did look like it was getting a little bit brighter. But then it got like it was like the size of a pinpoint, like a normal star. And then the brightness came like this, and it did a flash, and then it was gone.
Mm.
That fucked me up. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's what they call it. It flashed you, and then it dipped." And I was like, and, you know, the fucking shrooms didn't help because that shit had me stuck. And I'm, like, literally, like, a little bit scared inside. You know, like, you ever had a dream where you look in the sky and you see an alien spaceship or something? It's not a feeling of joy, like, "Oh, sweet, they do exist." It's like, "Oh, fuck, we're dead." You know, we've seen so many movies where, like, extraterrestrial contact is bad, like, Alien, it's bad, Independence Day, it's bad, Predator, it's bad. Only kids' movies is it good.
Mhm.
In adult
Mhm.
movies, it's never good. Uh, so when I seen that, like, it literally I felt my fucking asshole drop out of my body. I felt cold inside. I had the chills. It was like the first time you ever had a supernatural experience. Like, it scared the shit out of me,
Yeah.
but also, like, made me completely believe.
Mhm.
Just like, you know, we have our ghost experience. We didn't get onto that in this, story, you know. Today, I don't wanna get into ghosts too much, but, for sure, man, that shit that was a clear indicator to me that there was something that exists outside of this planet. If not outside of this planet, there's things inside this planet that we don't understand and that,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, we don't even know that they exist.
Mhm. Yeah, it's crazy. There's tons of videos available online, and of things happening that can't be explained. And there's always the question is, okay, did somebody make this? You know, did somebody manipulate some real footage and make it look like this and stuff like that? But to me, there's just so much of it that's completely believable, that's readily available out there, that like I feel like you can't deny it. You know, there's videos of people getting picked up from lights in the sky and just disappearing. And this, if you look into it, this person actually is a missing person. You know what I mean? Like you can, there's so many that you can look into it and establish validity to. Um, and just the footage, the video footage of it happening, you know, like in our current law system and stuff like that, video is irrefutable. You know,
Yep.
it's you can't argue with it. And you know, for us to be able to have this stuff to see if whether it's ghosts or aliens and stuff like that, if you haven't personally had these experiences in your life, you know, but you see these examples of things that you can't explain. Okay, maybe you just take it as, you know, like, well, I can't explain it because I'm not an expert. I don't know astrophysics and stuff like that. You know, like I can't explain it, but it's not aliens. You know, it's people who dedicate their lives to explaining these things, and you know, and yet they still can't explain it. It's it defies logic, the logic that we all are locked into every single day of our lives, you know, to be able to see it happen in our world, in our universe, and in our dimension or whatever this is, you know, to see it happen, how are you going to argue with it? You know, I feel like most people have had an experience in their life, you know, where they've come across something supernatural or seen some lights in the sky or something like that and just brushed it off. You know, you think most people, if you live past 20 years old, you're going to have some type of experience in your life, you know. It's pretty interesting shit, you know, especially with the
Yep.
aliens. It feels like there's even more and more activity now than I mean, this shit started way back when 50s, 60s, whatever, people were seeing lights in the sky.
Oh,
And
before
for us,
that.
yeah, before that, well, way before that, ancient times, you know, it's fucking chiseled into hieroglyphics and shit, you know. But uh, to see it, to even like see like the people who have been recording these interactions, the lights in the sky and stuff like that, that now it happens so much more than it ever did, you know. Like if you spend enough time looking up into the sky at night, you're gonna fucking see something. I guarantee it, whether it's extraterrestrial or something just as small as like a comet or something like that, you know. Couple times back when I went camping this year, I went camping and I was by myself for a good amount of time at night, so I just laid down in my little day bed and looked up at the sky, and I might have been looking up for maybe like 45 minutes. But within that 45 minutes, I witnessed 3 fucking shooting stars, comets, or whatever the hell they are,
Yep.
asteroids, whatever, but fucking streaks of light super fucking fast in the fucking sky. I witnessed 3. I was high, but I wasn't on
Yeah.
no fucking mushrooms or nothing like that. I don't know if that really tarnishes the validity of this story, but
No.
yeah, like I fucking got to see some shit. And as far as aliens and stuff go, like how he was saying, there's fucking hot spots. You know, there's areas of the sky that you see UFO activity every single fucking night. You know, it's just hot ass areas. And there's definitely been times that I've seen things in the sky that can't explain it, you know, whether it was a light that was there, then it disappeared, or it moved super fucking fast, like way too fast for a plane, or changed its direction of movement way faster than anything could. You know, I've seen some shit. All it really takes is just look up in the fucking sky every once in a while. But you would think that there's a whole lot less of that going on these days because everybody's all looking fucking down. And
You know, and the thing that really does suck is, you know, we talked about it our last episode, but that AI is really fucking starting to suck, man, because we always looked at video evidence as being
oh yeah,
irrefutable. This is it. You know, when they were like, "Oh man, how come nobody can ever get a fucking clear picture of an alien or a Bigfoot or any of that stuff?" Right? Well, guess what, bitch? Now there's now you got fucking people that got video of Bigfoot sitting there having a beer with them on their
Clear as
fucking
fucking
patio.
day, looks real as shit. Even like celebrity voices and stuff like that. Anybody's voice could be mimicked by AI nowadays. But
Dude,
I mean, like,
we're so fucked, man. Like,
yeah,
taking away from extraterrestrial and supernatural shit, right? All the things that people wish they had a video camera for, bro, to the even the smallest details of like, you know, you can have just a crazy girlfriend fucking make an AI video of you making out with another chick or some shit,
or beating
and
the
then
shit
it's
out of her or something,
right, and you're
and then she
just
beats the shit out of herself for
fuck
real
yeah,
afterwards
on some
to sell
fucking
it.
yeah, fucking
Yeah.
type
That's okay, but that is one thing is like one when you have the actual file, the video file on your computer, you can't fake where it came from. There's
right.
a whole ass fucking story template in that's integrated into the file itself, where it originated, what kind of software you used to edit it, all the different devices that you stored it on, and all that stuff. It's all available on the fucking file. So like with the AI stuff, I feel like you can't. None of it can hold up in court or anything like
No.
that. Like it can't really hurt anybody too bad. Maybe for a little time being, you know, you manage to have the police see the video you getting your ass beat or something like that, goes arrest the guy. I might spend a few days in jail until the forensics team goes through the video and finds, oh, they created this shit, you know, from
Yeah,
fuck.
major consequence, no, because there is that trail, but
Mm-hmm.
minor consequence as in, like, let's say a crazy ex-girlfriend makes a video of you kissing on, some new chick and it's with a shirt that's brand new. Let's say you got a picture of you on your Facebook and you're like this, and you're in this brand new shirt that your current girlfriend just got you, and they got
Mm-hmm.
that picture of you kissing some other girl now in that new shirt that you just got from your girlfriend. She's not gonna go through the paper trail of that. She's gonna see a video of you kissing another girl, and your current relationship is over. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and there is no court investigations or any of that behind that. It's just you got fucked, and
That's right. And
that shit's
it'll
not
hurt. It could
cool.
hurt your reputation too. You know, if that person shares that and puts it out there, and nobody who's judging you based on that is going to go through all the steps to, you know, look into the forensics of it and see if it's actually real.
They had a big thing with that, with, like, people getting AI porn made out of them, like celebrities and stuff,
Oh
where they
yeah,
actually had to fight that, where it was like, "Yo, man, this is tarnishing my reputation when people can look it up, and I'm over here fucking gobbling a 13-inch fucking dong." And you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm getting stretched out on camera. This isn't right. Like, this isn't real.
yeah.
And then you got fucking horny ass nerds that are just fucking cranking it. I don't care if it's real or not. I'm making more. Like
Yeah,
libraries.
if they're cranking it to them like that, you know, every time that they ever see that celebrity or a reference of the celebrity, they're gonna remember that porno. You know, it definitely does hurt people's reputations
Oh, it's so awful.
with shit
It's
like that. Yeah, fucking AI. I always, ever since the concept of AI has came across my conscious, you know, I've never liked it, never liked it, and I've always went along with the whole Terminator 2 idea and shit, you know, like that's as a kid when I seen that movie, I was just like, oh, robot's gonna kill us all. Hey, you know, no big deal. But like as I matured and became older, I'll never forget that movie. I'm like, you know, like that premise actually makes a lot of fucking sense. You know, like this that even though it was a sci-fi movie, I
yeah.
never thought about it as a kid. I never thought about it as like a possible future for us. But damn, as we go along, it's big time looking that way to me. And as silly as human beings have been throughout history, as far as like our awareness of how much we hurt the environment, yet it has not changed a fucking thing about what we do on the corporate level and all that stuff. We still
Right.
pollute just as fucking much, if not more, nowadays, you know. Uh, as far as like trying to do the right thing, which the right thing with AI would be to just shut the project down, shut it down, or fucking isolate it and don't allow fucking everybody to have access to it and shit like that, you know, just because it is a very powerful tool and it can do a lot of good, but I see it can do way, way more bad than good. And putting it in everybody's hands,
I
fucking
mean,
stupid, man. I
you
never
you s
thought there would be the day that I knew that AI would exist one day, but for everybody to have access to it and be able to use it and shit for whatever the fuck, you know, to design shit, to design clothes, to design fucking electronics and shit like that, to do all of the schematics and all that shit, fucking give you all the best fucking manufacturing companies and shit that'll make it for you, give them quotes and all that shit. Like you can fucking just sit back, let your belly grow, and fucking just tell the computer, hey, I want to start this business. You know, like I got this money. You know, design me something that's cool. You know, like, that'll stand out to the consumer. And you barely got it. You just got to give it very minuscule direction, and it can do it all. It can fucking do it all for you with everything.
Yeah, the only problem is that in today's society, there's just too many fucking trolls. And with everybody having access to this, instead of them using it to innovate and create, you have some people that are doing that, sure. But then you have other people that just wanna fucking make videos of Trump kissing Biden and,
There's a
fucking
lot of
it
so many
just
silly ass
so
videos.
much awful shit, Italian brain rot, fucking all of these crazy creations of AI, like, there's
Mhm.
it's not a misuse because it's just a use for sure, but it's like, yo, man, there's so many better ways to use this. It's like picking up a golf club and using it as a hammer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it worked to get the nail in, but, that's not what this is for. Use it for what it's for, Use it to innovate, use it to create, use it to streamline the processes, like, if you're using AI to streamline a process that would normally take you 30 days and you did it in 30 minutes, fucking more power to you. You know what I mean? Like that is what this shit is for. It's a supercomputer. You want to be if you're not utilizing the tools in front of you to the best of your abilities, then you're the fool. It's not the computer's fault. It's not the programming's fault. It's not any of that. You're the fool because you're working harder than you need to. But the fact is that we're not looking at it as much of, like, the tool that it is, and we're looking at it like a toy. Some people are just using a tool as a toy, and that's where you always have problems. That's where you always have problems. In any fucking tool that has ever been created, the moment somebody uses that tool as a toy, it causes problems.
Yeah, and then
From
we can't take
AI to a
anything
goddamn
serious.
jigsaw.
As far
Yeah.
as videos and shit, you know, like we all analyze videos now that we watch much differently than we did before AI videos and stuff. You know, it used to be you watch a video and you get fucking, even if it's fake, they do it good enough, you get fucking fooled by it. Ah, it tricked me once, never trick me again. But now that we know that there's this AI making so many of these fucking videos, somebody can do something very fucking real, but you're gonna get a lot of fucking people going, AI, that's AI, you know, like that didn't really happen. And to be able to prove the validity of anything, you already provided the video, and people are still calling bullshit. What more can you fucking do? You know?
Yeah.
Oh, you can have one of the Guinness Book of World Records people standing right there witnessing it happen, and people would just be like, "Oh yeah, AI. He's not really there. Just put him in there with AI."
Fake news.
Yeah, fake news. Can't can't trust shit, man. Trust is
No.
important. Trust is important.
And being that visual proof is usually what we call the most, credible proof, right? Visual proof is usually the most credible.
Mhm.
That's always what we've been taught, they, believe nothing that you hear and only half of what you see, and that's really more prevalent now than ever with AI. It used to be when you would see video evidence of something, that is irrefutable proof that something exists or that something happened or whatever. and now that's just not the case. And, you know, when you talk about the paper trails, sure, that exists, but how many people even currently, let's take AI and video out of the equation. How many people currently will just read a headline without even reading the fucking article, and they just live their life based on the knowledge that they see in the headline somewhere? So now, you mean you see a fucking clip of an AI video that you fucking think that was real as fuck. Like there was nothing about that. I seen countless AI videos of, like, deaths and shit on Instagram or, like, people getting fucked up and mangled and shit like that. I mean, I seen tons of real ones on Instagram too. But,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, even the fake ones, like, now it's like, I gotta take everything I see with a grain of salt because, who's to say that video is real? And that kinda fucking sucks, man, because when you live your life as a skeptical person, but yet curious, if you have a curious mind, we're seeing all these cool videos. Oh, cool, maybe an alien, maybe a ghost or some shit. It's all fucking fake. It's all fucking AI.
Mhm.
And that just really sucks the fucking joy out of what we do as the Wormhole podcast. Like, you send me a fucking video and it's made from AI.
And we both have a discussion about it, how it's like, oh, that is so crazy that that actually happened, and we discuss it as if it's really real. But then later on down the road, it ends up being proven as AI and shit. Then we look like fucking straight up fucking fools, man. Like
You thought
we,
he came out the wall to be down here? We're gonna come out the wall to beat your fucking ass for sending us that bullshit. Speaking of sending us
wish you
stuff.
could do something about it. Fucking get these motherfuckers. All the time I be wanting revenge on people that just be bullshitting, man. Them freaking telemarketers and shit, man. I'd be like, man, I wish I could make a trip down to India and just have some fucking fun. Do the what's it called? The fade, run fades down on the fucking block
Running the
and shit.
fades. Speaking of, listener submissions, we got some pretty fucking cool ghost video that was, sent to us from a listener, and, it's off of, his brother's Ring camera, and it's pretty fucking cool. We're gonna go into that, when we touch in on ghosts a little bit in the next episode. Um, but yeah, that video, you're gonna enjoy it. I haven't even sent it to Pinky yet, so you guys are
Yeah,
really
no, I
gonna like
haven't
that.
seen it. And I'm gonna fucking scrutinize the shit out of it. You better believe that. Like, even though I believe in aliens and ghosts and shit like that, I'm still highly skeptical of a lot of shit. I used to do the ghost hunting,
I
and
remember.
the people that I would go with were scared of everything, man. Every little thing. We'd be exploring old buildings, and you hear a creak above the floor. Everybody, just like fucking me. I'd be like, come on, it's an old fucking building. Like if I if I can explain it in a logical way, like that's then I will. I love fucking tearing things apart and debunking things. But if um if I see something, which I have seen something that there's no other explanation than that it's not human. It's a energy force or something like that, or it's not from this world or something like that. Things that I've seen that's just like I can't explain. That's why I believe in ghosts and aliens and stuff, but still very highly skeptical of a lot of stuff, videos and stuff. So I want to see this ring camera video, this ghost footage.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool, and, yeah, I mean, we've had experiences together when we've done our ghost hunting,
Oh yeah, oh
urban
yeah.
explorations. I touched
Shit.
we touched on that in a episode of the pod, back in 2018, but, yeah, I think when we talking about ghosts, we can really get into that too because that's another thing that I really wanna start taking back with this podcast is, I do wanna do some vlogging. Unfortunately, we are in, the Chicago Midwest area, so as you guys know, it is November, and it's cold. So, the Wormhole podcast will be in video format from the nice cozy offices of our homes until it warms up enough to where we can do some vlogging, but you best believe we're gonna have some ghost explorations coming. I've already been in the process of, starting to accumulate all of my ghost hunting gear. I'll be having a spirit box,
Oh
i
God.
infrared light on my camera. I mean, I just wanna have some fun, right? Like, we're gonna make some content, right? We're gonna have some fun. Maybe we'll pull out
Mhm.
a Ouija board.
Those fucking spirit boxes, man. Like, I'm not even about to start going on in a tangent about those, but I will say that I hate them. I don't think that it's anything real, but hey, it's content like a motherfucker because it's just random ass words coming from nowhere, and you can just build off of that. Oh, Ghost said this. Fuck you, bitch. You know, it's just
It's possible. Now see, it does seem like random words sometimes, um, but I do know a few different now, I really dislike the ones that are phone-based. The ones that are app-based are absolute
mm,
bullshit. The
I've
ones
seen
that
that.
see, I don't like doing that. I like doing it with, either the spirit box. I also have, just a manual recorder, and that's where I really
Yeah,
could
I like the manual recorder.
I
Yeah,
do the manual recorder, and then I would do, like, obviously, the spirit box that's kinda like a radio frequency that we just plug into a speaker so that we can hear it louder and just go off of that. Electromagnetic frequency detector, that's electromagnetic frequency is real. That's not that's not fake. You can't fake the funk with that. If it's showing that there's something in front of us, there's something. It might not be nothing more than just as you said, just like a little bit of energy. Doesn't mean that this was a deceased person. It
right.
doesn't
There's
mean
there's
anything.
all type of electricity that's been done improperly inside of homes and buildings and shit like that that will set the fuck off of those fucking RF meters and shit. We used to bring those, and everywhere we brought them, man,
It
everywhere we
goes off
brought them,
everywhere.
we can get them to spike somewhere. You know, it's like, are all these places haunted? Chances are no, but
I mean, it's hard to say because if
I
the
do
Earth
like
has
it though,
been
man, because
around.
it's all good. It's all good content when you're doing ghost exploration and shit like that, man. Because
Man,
otherwise, you don't have any type of hardware. You're pretty much just relying on something showing up in the audio or the video. You know,
sure.
that's it. Or us just like looking out there like we're tweaking. Did you see that? Oh, fuck. You know, the camera never even sees it. But yeah, all those extra hardware and shit just makes it more interesting,
And
more
I also think
interactive.
just adding on the ghost hunting, aspect to just our urban exploration that we like to do kinda
Yeah,
makes it a little bit more fun. If you see an old dilapidated building or, for instance, when we were in, the old decommissioned hospital, we're down in the morgue areas and the psych wards and stuff. Uh, I mean, it's only cool to even try to communicate with something. Obviously, there's been people that are deceased from this area.
yeah, in a
So,
hospital. Yeah,
yeah, and I mean,
old ass hospital.
we had tons of experiences there. We'll
Mm-hmm,
touch on
mm-hmm.
that. But, another thing besides alien vlogs, I do wanna do a couple of the, CE5s and maybe, just film it, see what we see, right? I could tell you guys about it, but it'd be way more fun to show you. And when you go onto the Patreon, we're gonna have to have some kinda content that's not the pod because you get that for free. So, we're gonna be giving y'all some real good content. Don't think we're bullshitting. It's gonna be great. And, yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, sounds like fun. That CE5 stuff sounds interesting too, man. I never heard of that, but just kind of sucks that the source of it from you learning it came from young.
No, it wasn't Young. It
It
was,
wasn't young.
no, it
Oh.
was, I forgot dude's name. I feel so terrible. If you're end up becoming a listener, hit me up, man. I'm sorry I forgot your name. It's
Tony's buddy, you said?
yeah, it was,
You remember if he was from Illinois or from Indiana?
he was from Indiana, and he worked with Tony at, uh, his job that he had prior to.
Oh, I think he might have been some random ass dude that I've never met before. I think I remember you talking about that.
He
Him,
came to Indiana
he got a
Beach
ride from.
twice. Yeah.
Oh, he came from Indiana to you twice.
No, no, no. He was at Indiana Beach camping with us and your mom and stuff, twice. But he was kinda like, I don't wanna say Tony's lackey because, like, Tony just kind of told him what to do, and he just kind of followed Tony around.
Was it a tattoo artist, Don?
No, no, it wasn't Don. It was just
What
some.
the
It
fuck
was
was this?
just some big white boy, kind of
Damn.
chubby, had a little beard. It wasn't like our normal friends. It wasn't Heart Attack. It wasn't Fat
Yeah.
Tom. It was.
I guess I never met him. I never met this dude.
Yeah, I had him on Facebook for a while, but I don't know. He just kind of fell off the map. I think after him and Tony stopped hanging out, once Tony got hard into the meth, him and that guy kind of stopped
Oh. See,
hanging
that's
out.
what makes me think Don, but Don wasn't really a big guy.
Yeah, no, I know Don. I know Don, his wife, his kids, and stuff. So yeah, it definitely wasn't Don. And this guy didn't have tattoos either.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was. Uh,
Big Country? Was it Big Country?
nah, no, that wasn't his name. I
Yeah.
couldn't. It's whatever. You know.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But that gentleman was a stepping stone for me to learn more about aliens. I appreciate his involvement in my extraterrestrial journey. Um, and that piece of information he taught me about CE5 has been invaluable to my life moving forward. I don't practice this regularly because usually CE5 meditations work better the more people are there because, like I said, it's like an energy they say you can project, and the crafts can pick up on the energy or whatever. So the more people that are there doing these meditations, they say the more prone to something actually happening. Uh, whether that's the case or not, who knows? It's purely speculation at this point. We don't even have proof of science. If you look at any single scientific thing that we say is fact, is really just a bunch of people that are educated, that the education system that humans have created. It's just a bunch of humans
To
agreeing.
the best of our
Right.
knowledge, it's all man-made theory and
Yep.
shit.
Every
But
every bit of science
there's
is just
difference between theory and fact. That's what they say.
and actually, I have it pulled up. There was a very cool thing I had looked at. And it says that humans can see frequencies from 430 to 790 THz and perceive sound between 20 hertz and 20 kilohertz. And these ranges are just a tiny portion of the entire
Of
spectrum
the
of light
entire
and
range.
sound
Yeah.
that exists. So that means that most of what exists is entirely invisible to us. So if you were to say that we understand science, we understand anything, just because what we see and what we hear and what we experience is only a portion of what is real.
Check it out, man. I got something to say about that. If, as far as vision, mostly things that we see, we can only see within a certain range of light and all that. So that makes you kind of think: is there things out there that we can't see but they're there? Then why the fuck aren't we bumping into them and shit like that? You know what I mean? I remember we're just like walking down our open ass prairie, and then all of a sudden, boom, fucking get hit in the head by some shit we didn't see. That doesn't fucking happen. I believe that when it comes to vision and hearing too, it's all our range is set just for what's necessary. Like anything outside of those ranges doesn't fucking exist. So hearing is different because of megahertz. It's all vibrations, and there's definitely lower and higher vibrations that we can't hear. They're beyond our capabilities. And there's animals and insects and stuff like that that can see these certain wavelengths of light and hear these certain pitches that we can't and stuff. But I don't think like that whole concept, that we have a range, so easily makes you think of a more magic idea of that. There's things we can't see and hear. It's not, nah. Don't get too crazy with that.
I don't necessarily get too crazy with it, but now what I really look at that more is like, um when we do see not alien, but, like, when we do see, like, what we would perceive as a ghost or something like that, seeing these, like, little bits of energy where they say, like, "Oh, that might have been a thinness in the veil," or something, or it might be, like, extra dimensional, or who knows, that kinda stuff. But, like, yeah, as you said, like, we don't randomly walk into things that we didn't see, um, but now extraplanetary, like, outside of what we see on our planet, that's a possibility. Light spectrums are and then also, like, when they talk about, like, light and the speed of light and time travel and all of those string theories of, like, multiverse travel, dimensions, uh, none of those are based on what we currently see or hear. None of those theories. So, I mean, it's possible, but it'd be difficult, you know? Like, I'm no physicist, so I don't understand how seeing light, the speed of light, and something that is tangibly existent in front of me, if any of those things correlate. So, I mean, it's all speculation.
Mhm.
It's a fun thing to speculate.
Yeah. All that stuff is super interesting. The speed of sound, the speed of light, and all that stuff. It makes you a little bit more aware of how everything works, how the world works. I had seen a video of a guy who created the fastest slow mo camera that can take the most amount of pictures in the least amount of time. And the camera's so fucking slow you can witness the speed of light, and that whole concept to us is fucking just insane because you can be a mile away and see somebody wave. It's almost instant,
Yep.
like even though they're so fucking far away, you've seen it in real time. You think you're seeing it in real time. There's a slight little lag, but our comprehension can't pick up that slight difference and shit. But this guy's camera makes light look slow, man. It's crazy. Like you'll see, they'll shine, they'll have the light off, and they'll have the camera recording, and then they'll turn the light on, and you see first the object get hit by the light, and then a few frames later, you see the light hit the wall behind the fucking object and show the shadow of the first object and shit. It's just like wow. You get to watch them turn on a light, and you think that it's just spark, the light's on. No, there's all this fucking like build up to the fucking light being on and all this shit. It's fucking crazy to see these things happen in slow motion. That if it weren't for like having this technology and these things, we would never ever as human beings be able to witness this shit happen.
Sure.
You know? It's super cool, fucking the speed of light and shit. And that is a factor in so many things, The speed of sound is a factor in so many things. Everything that's logic based uh, is part of our daily existence, which always just kind of like drove me crazy. Like, why do people not care about this kind of stuff? You know what I mean? Like, not everybody's so curious as to understand how life works. Like I remember taking a biology class in high school and learning like how my body worked. And at the time while I'm learning all this stuff, I felt so stupid. I was just like, how come I never fucking like cared about this?
Sure.
I have a liver in my body. I got a heart in my body. I got veins running through a nervous system, all this shit, all these things that are happening inside my body that's supposed to be like my most important thing. But I never was, never cared to learn how it all works.
Yeah,
Like
unfortunately, that
that's the most interesting shit in the fucking world, man. Like understanding how your body works and stuff.
yeah, unfortunately, there's so many people that overlook that. So many people that overlook the fact that your body is one of the most fascinating the human body is, uh, one of the most fascinating things in creation. The way that it works, the way that it contains electricity, the way that the nervous system works, the way that your optical
Mm-hmm.
system works, it's so fascinating.
Messages
And
to and from the brain and all that shit. That it's all like electric pulse and water and salt and chemicals and all this stuff, just like this crazy ass chemistry that's happening in our body that allows us to function. It's fucking crazy.
Yep. And yeah, it sucks that people don't, not even that they aren't fascinated by it. It's like there's so many people that completely ignore that their bodies even exist, you know? They destroy their body, they don't think about it, they don't care about longevity, they don't care about flexibility, they don't care about.
I see it a lot, man. Like people who have no pride in their fucking body and shit like that. That appearance, their appearance obviously is not a factor in any of the decisions that they make. You know, their hygiene is shit. Yeah, they I can't understand that. I can't
Yeah.
understand that shit at all, man. People who let themselves become like fucking 400 pounds stuck in bed, like this was a process, you know, like you started
Sure.
out normal and then you started like, and somewhere along the lines, it became evident, especially to you more than anybody, especially to you, that this wasn't good. This wasn't healthy. This doesn't feel good. You know, I'm moving more away from living a comfortable life and moving towards living a very difficult fucking life. But I love food so much that it doesn't fucking matter. That whole concept to me is crazy. But I see that very same thing exists in a lot of people. You know, they don't, health is at the bottom of their list of priorities.
Yeah, I mean, there and it what baffles me is the fact that, like, those same people would be so concerned about work. They're so concerned about so many things that you'll have a person that has 0 concern for themselves, but 1,000% concern for politics.
For who the fuck pays, signs their checks, and politics, bunch of fucking nonsense that you have no control over. You know, a good example of that I always had in mind is like there's people who are fantastic workers. You know, they go to work, they bust their ass, they put so much blood, sweat, and tears and passion into the company that they work for because
Mhm.
that's the way that they make money. But their home is a fucking wreck. Their relationships with other people are suffering because, you know, they feel like that they spend so much time at work now they just need to relax and be catered to and all this shit. You know, like it's like um you know, we can like that's that monkey brain shit. You could put blood, sweat, and tears into somebody else's dream, make somebody else rich just because they give you the money to get by and shit, but completely neglect your own fucking needs and your own living space and stuff like that. You sweep up after work, you make your workspace look all fucking nice and neat, and you walk into a dirty ass fucking house and you got hours and hours to do shit, but oh, you're so beat up from work, you'd rather just fucking, you know, vegetate on the sofa or play some video games or something like that and let your world go to shit. You know, you got nothing left for yourself. That's fucking horrible to me. You know, like it doesn't make sense why people do it.
Hey, I mean, I used to be, at my heaviest, I was 320 pounds, and I was stuck into the rut of, every day, just, go to work, get home. I was never a dirty person. I always was taught, like, I can't relax and sit down at least until, like, my space feels clean and comfortable. I feel the most comfortable in a clean house, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit down and lay on the couch if there's c laundry all over the place and food, garbage, and dirty dishes everywhere. No way. I don't
Yeah.
feel comfortable in that. This is my bedroom, god damn it, you know what I mean? It might be a little aliened out, Hey,
It's good
I
to
gotta
have standards, you
I
know,
gotta
and your
use
home you
what's
have to be
nice.
proud of.
That's right.
You,
That's
you
right.
know, you, like in certain situations that I've been before, you know, just because of depending on where I'm living, I have been in that position where I'm not proud of the place that I live, and the idea of having guests over and stuff like that was out of the question. You know, I wanted nobody seeing this, and that really sucks. You know, it's a huge difference. It's a huge positive in life to be proud of the space that you live and be comfortable of other people seeing it
Yep.
and shit. You know, but there's a lot of people who blood, sweat, and tears at work and don't do shit for themselves. And you hear their excuse, you know, I'm exhausted. That's understandable. You're exhausted. You don't have the energy to clean your home. But think about all the times you went to work exhausted and worked your ass off still. You had it in you to freaking quit being a pussy, bite it and just freaking get it over with. Do your work, do your job, make your bosses proud and shit. But you get home, you're exhausted. You can't do that. You can't switch that on for yourself. That's a lot of fucking people.
Last episode we talked about time management, and I
Mm,
think this is a good opportunity to speak about energy management. Just as you can manage your time, as we said before, those 2 hours you spent on your phone, you could do something else. Um, you understand that when doing your job, a majority of us that come home exhausted aren't the do the bare minimum motherfucker at work. You know what I mean? We are actually productive at work. We bust our ass at work, and that's why we come home exhausted every day. You know, there's nothing wrong with you coming home exhausted. That is an indicator that you did a good job, right?
mhm, mhm.
Now, if it's affecting your life outside of work, that exhaustion, that means you're giving too much to the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying to don't go to work and do a good job. Go do the best job that you could do. But maybe if you're doing so much of a good job that you're getting home and you can't fucking get off the couch to do the dishes or something, first off, take accountability in yourself and your own actions, right? Don't make excuses for yourself in any fucking instance. I don't care what it is. Don't make excuses for yourself. Anything where you're like, "Oh, I was tired, my foot hurts," whatever, whatever. That is all an excuse, right?
Yeah.
You can't
Mhm.
make that excuse at work. You can't be like, when your boss is like, "Hey, I need you to go do this." You can't be like, "Oh, well, my back's hurting a little bit. I really don't wanna do that." All the bullshit you tell yourself and you believe to yourself is just excuses. Suck that shit up, get it done, and then relax. There's 24 fucking hours in a day, right? The maximum work get well, I mean, unless you're fucking a slave to your own company, uh, majority of us, um, if you're working for a company, what is the max? 12 hours? That's half a day, right? You could function off of 6 hours of sleep, right? That's
Mhm.
the healthiest. That is the lowest amount of sleep that is still considered healthy, right? Get yourself 6 hours of sleep, 12 hours of work, that's still 18 hours, right? You still got another 6 hours to play with. Factor in your commute. Um, I hope you don't have to factor in a commute, you know, more than 20, 30 minutes to work, you know what I'm saying? Uh, some meal times. Eating goes quick, you know, but you have so much time still that's able to be managed, right?
Mhm.
But that energy, if you manage that energy properly, maybe don't give 110% at work when they're not paying you 100%, 110% of pay, you know? Maybe them bare minimum motherfuckers, like, there's something to it, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if you're not making commission and you killing yourself for your job isn't making you extra money, I would definitely recommend, I would never recommend being lazy because, you are a representative of yourself, right? You always wanna do a good job. You wanna always be the best representation of yourself as possible. So, you can still do that without killing yourself, right? You know? Maybe just work at the pace of everyone else. Maybe, take those extra breaks. Maybe focus on eating a little cleaner so that your energy
Yeah.
is cleaner,
That's a big
you
factor.
know? Get
Diet.
get some good sleep, get some good fuel in your body, and, don't rely on as much caffeine. I'm preaching to the fucking choir here, I got my 300 milligrams right here. I do 1 a day, this is my pick me up in the day. This isn't like, "Oh, I get home at night, I need to drink an energy drink just to stay awake to play video games." Fuck that, go to bed, bruh. If you're tired, go to sleep. Wake up the next day and kick ass. And,
Yeah.
yeah, man, the listener has the power to do so much more even if you don't realize it. Um just do a little bit of self-analyzing, you know? We analyze the skies, we analyze the world around us, we're hoping for aliens, we're hoping for ghosts, we're hoping for cryptids. You need to hope for yourself also.
Yeah. There's a lot of things about typical person's behavior though that's influenced by everybody else. You know, like with like cell phone addicts and stuff like that. Like anybody who's a cell phone addict who's got that problem, it's very difficult for them to recognize it as a problem because there's so many people who have that problem, you know. Either they're addicted or they use it every once in a while. You know, we all pick it up at least once a day, you know. And you always have that example of, you know, like, well, yeah, I might be like this, but that person's like that, you know, for a little portion of the day and stuff like that. I see people all the time in the waiting room, you know, just face glued to the screen and shit like that, you know, like that's like how we were talking about before, you know, like that um that feeds into like the people's depression and stuff like that. You know, you spend so much time staring at a screen watching other people living their lives while you're just, you know, they're out making doing their mukbang, throwing a bunch of crabs in the freaking tropics and shit like that, you know, fucking living life. And you're just fucking potato and straight up freaking potato and watching them enjoy their life. Yeah, you might get a little inspiration, but are you gonna really fucking do anything? No, you're just gonna spend more and more hours fucking
Yeah.
just watching other people doing their shit. And yeah, then you start to feel lousy about your own life, whether it's you're actually cognitively thinking about it, like you come to the realization that you're watching people living their life yet you're doing nothing, or you you realize that you know, just your surroundings and your life are so much more uninteresting than other people's, you know, like that you get to see people who get to enjoy vacations and enjoy life and all that shit, and you just feel like you're doing something wrong, you know. It definitely makes people depressed and shit. I can't see it having a positive effect on anybody's life as a phone addict. Like I can't think of how it could have a positive effect on you unless you're like freaking handicapped and you can't get up or go out anywhere. That's your outlet, you know, past the walls that you're surrounded by, you know, that I guess it can, a phone can improve that person's quality of life. But if you're not, you know, if you're perfectly physically able to go out and do things, yet you're fucking vegging, that's gonna fucking hurt you. It's gonna hurt you. You're gonna gain weight. You're gonna be a lot more unhealthy. Time management is important, man. Like setting aside time to make a meal rather than throw some shit in the microwave. You know, like if you want to start focusing on your diet, you're gonna have to start some time management because making your own meals and shit is very time consuming to make something healthy.
Yep. And it all can be done.
Yeah,
You know,
work
it can be
out and
done.
fucking exercise. And, you know, we've all heard it a million times from our doctors because it's the best fucking thing you can do for yourself. God damn it. It's not fucking rocket science. It's so fucking simple.
Yep.
But you better believe there's tons and tons of people who wake up every day. I feel like shit. Oh, I don't know why I feel like shit. And the reason that they feel like shit is something that they do to themselves every day, and they're gonna do it today, and they're gonna do it tomorrow with and wake up the same. Oh, I feel like shit. I'm worthless. I don't want to live anymore. What's the point? You know, like you got to be proactive. You got to be fucking
Oh,
proactive, and you got to do some time management. You have to put yourself at the top of your priorities. Put your job somewhere under at least yourself and your family and your home. You know.
yep. Yep. And, you know, I gotta start wrapping it up here. We're going at about hour and 20. But yeah, we really do need to focus on that. And this is coming from a person that used to work in the trades, you know. As I said earlier in the podcast, I used to be 320 pounds. I'm currently 235 pounds. I mean, I'm still not a fucking spring chicken, but I'm also not morbidly obese anymore. And none of that was based on sitting around playing video games, eating chips. What that was the daily routine of, you wake up, I'm going to hit the fucking gas station before, I'm outside working all day. I'm hitting the gas station. I'm getting them 2 breakfast sandwiches and my coffee every day. You're eating like shit. You get home, fucking, I'll eat some dinner. What was I eating for dinner? Probably some shit I picked up on the way home. I'm tired from work, so I pick up some fast food or something on the way home, have some beers, call it a night, wake up and do all that shit the next day. You don't think that you're hurting yourself, but it just adds up. It does pile up. What I can attribute to a lot of the weight loss is 100% cooking my own food. I don't eat carbs. I stay under 20 grams of carbs a day. That's boring to some. It ain't boring to me. I cook good ass food. I eat
Mm-hmm.
good all day. I'm eating great. I'm eating great. It's totally doable. And this is coming from you say you don't have time. I'm over here working. I work a 10.5-hour shift every day. I I alternate shifts with my wife. So when I'm always here with my kid. He's in school right now. That's when I shoot the pod. I could be sleeping. I'm doing this instead. Uh, I'm a very busy person. I don't sit around and vegetate on the couch for 4 hours a day. I used to. I used to. Them days
Mm-hmm.
are over
I'm sure we've all
them
been
days
there
are over
with people
with,
who
you know?
currently take
Days
care of themselves.
If you wanna take care of your body, you just need to and take care of the life around you. Everything around you is catalysted by you. You are the catalyst for change for everything around you. Nothing in your life is gonna change until you change it, and that's
Mm-hmm.
just facts.
You
And
got to be proactive. You can't be just sitting around stationary thinking that happiness is just going to come find you, success is just going to come find you.
you gotta get out there and grab life by the fucking balls,
Yeah.
and that's the homework that I'm gonna give the listener for next week. I want you to go out there and grab life by the fucking balls. Kick ass, keep your eyes to the skies, and until next time, stay safe out there, y'all. This has been the Wormhole. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.